Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is proof Kwame Brown was set up to fail from the start. So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, make sure you check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community that we created, a place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, so many other cool things. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to check that out. We have that linked in the description below and get 7 days of access. Also, make sure you go ahead and click the join button to join the channel, to become a member of the channel, and also to receive loyalty badges from our channel. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So listen, some people are wondering, some people are wondering why we focusing so much on Kwame Brown over the last few days. Well, first of all, the reason is this. This is a seminal moment in sports media. Over the last 4 to 5 days, let's say, I've witnessed something that I've never seen before in sports media. Kwame Brown has completely taken over, I would say, sports media for sure, but he's definitely had an impact on media as a whole, because he's been talking and he's been having back and forth with other people in entertainment and stuff like that. And it's something that I've never witnessed before. And for us, where we pride ourselves in giving our own take, which is one of the mottos of our channel, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't give our own opinion on what's happening, right? Because this is within our industry. Not like as if we're talking about what's happening in politics, or we're talking about what's happening in entertainment, or we're talking about what's happening, I don't know, in some field that we never talk about. This is right up our alley, sports media. So obviously we have to give our take. And we witnessed that, we realized that a lot of people that have discovered our content really agree with a lot of the opinions that we have on this. So we said, hey, why not continue, and let's see where this takes us. Now, Kwame Brown has made this resurgence back into the spotlight, let's say. Now, when he came into the NBA in 2001, I actually started watching basketball around that time. I was actually going to high school. That's when I started. I think I started high school in 2001. I don't remember the exact year, but I was in New York. I went to my high school's art and design in New York. And that's when I really started falling in love with sports. So I was very, very aware of Kwame Brown, very aware. I was rooting for Kobe Bryant and the Lakers then to win their 10. So I remember Allen Iverson. I had the Allen Iverson shoes. So this is not some guy that just woke up one day that saw this topic and said, oh, what's happening with this guy? Let me go see and search. No. I know the story, because I told you, been a fan of basketball for 20 years. So it's not like some dude that just woke up and all of a sudden decided that, oh, let's just start talking about Kwame Brown. No, that's not the case at all. However, if you look at Kwame Brown's story, there's no way you can look at Kwame Brown without bringing up Stephen A. Smith, because Stephen A. Smith, it seems like the way we view Kwame Brown has a lot to do with the way Stephen A. Smith has kind of portrayed us. We all know the infamous video out there of him calling him. We all know this video. I saw that. I remember when that happened. You say, how do you know? Because I said, as I said before, I've been covering basketball I've been following basketball for a very long time. The Lakers were my team. I was supporting Kobe Bryant when he was playing on that Lakers team, when he had, I think Kwame Brown was in that trade, when they traded for Pau Gasol. I remember it like yesterday. I remember they made the trade. I think he couldn't play the next day. I think he played the next night. They played in New Jersey when they were playing against the New Jersey Nets, and Kobe was playing with him, and he made a pass to him, and Pau Gasol, he had a great debut game. And at the end of the game, in the locker room when they were interviewing Kobe Bryant, I know this, right? So it's not like some dude that just woke up yesterday and started talking about this. And Kobe was so excited. I threw it past him, and he made a great play. So I remember all of this clearly. I have a vivid memory of all of this. And, we kind of view Kwame through, what people have been said about him. So yesterday I was doing some research on him, and I stumbled upon an interview that he did with Sports Illustrated. And I'd never seen this interview before. I think it was done in 2016 or 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And in this interview, Kwame Brown basically gives his side of the story as far as what actually transpired over the 12 years he played in the NBA. So before I go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to Kwame Brown sort of talking about his perspective on things and what really happened. Because usually what we've been hearing is, we've been hearing him now, and we have the information that we're kind of hunting down, but now you get to hear from the horse's mouth then when he's really explaining it in his own words. Because now he's coming out, but he's really came out to defend himself, not to tell his story. He came out to defend himself because of comments that were made about him, or jokes that were made about him on All the Smoke podcasts with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, which we already did a video on. So here I want you guys to take a listen to what he had to say about himself and his career. So before I go too far, take a listen to that.
People that don't know me approach me how the media perception is of me. They say perception is reality, which is the dumbest thing in the world. I think a lot of the times people say things that are opinions and they say it as a fact. So many people wanted to be a part of me and wanted to gravitate to me and make up these stories. None of those stories are true because a lot of the media is gossip. Stop acting like you know a person through what someone else is saying. You know, get to know a person yourself. Kwame Brown is a kid that went through a struggle that the average person would die going through. You know, I went from a homeless shelter. I was one of 8 children. So how can you call that kid a loser or that kid unsuccessful when if you put your son in the same situations I was in, or even you probably wouldn't be here.
For the first time in NBA draft history, high school kid is #1 in the draft.
They always say, name a #1 draft pick that scored his amount of points and all of this, all of that, but name a #1 draft pick that had Michael Jordan on his team. As soon as MJ came back, it was no process to build me as a player. It was, we got to win right now. I was in awe, just like everybody else. But there's an old saying, you don't want to meet the person that you idolize. They're never going to live up to what you think they are.
Now, in that soundbite, Kwame Brown says some interesting things. He said, listen, I had some issues with my hands. People saying I had small hands. People said I couldn't play this, I couldn't do it. But he gave explanations as to why he did, how he was able to be successful. I think when he played in Charlotte, he also, he talked about his upbringing and the challenges of being, coming from a family where, I think one of 8 kids or something like this, and he made it to the top. He was able to get his mother home, and he gave his own side of the story. And I'm just wondering to myself, in any other instance, if this guy wasn't in sports, this would be a success story. Because in life, he did really well for himself, buying his family a home, taking care. I mean, he did very well for himself. But that's not the story. That's not the message that's been portrayed out there whenever we talk about him. So it was very interesting to hear him talk about himself and really give his own take without, hearing it through the words of somebody else. He spoke for himself and basically said he was kind of typecasted. After a while, he became stigmatized, and that became, the kind of the story that was told about him. So for me, I was happy to see that he was able to, sort of give his own take. And that's the reason we decided to do a video on it. It's like, here's him, here he is talking about himself. You listen to the guy, he sounds very intelligent, very sharp guy. Very, very sharp guy. So I said, why not cover it today? And let's see, and let's see what people think of this after hearing it. So and good for him for defending himself and speaking up. So what I want to know from you guys is, what are your thoughts on Kwame Brown after hearing this? What are your opinions on all of this? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoy the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, it's just Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.